Notts County Talk, we are live back for episode 169 of the Pavis Perspective. You'll see George is not with me tonight. George has had to pull out last minute with work commitments, which is pretty poor because this is more important than work, isn't it? James has stepped in, and you'll have last seen James all the way back on Saturday's video in a loss to Barrow. How you doing, mate? You all right? Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I've only just got home from Barrow, actually. I've set off on Saturday, something about the M6, and now I'm here. Big
detour on the way to Barrow as well. Problems outside Preston, but superb driving. I was pretty nervous for tonight's episode, I'll be honest with you. If we hadn't have got anything against Shrewsbury, I mean, even a draw wouldn't have been good. So it's good that we've got points on the board, especially with a victory, a convincing victory, albeit against the Shrewsbury side that we're going to talk about. I fear for massively this season. I don't know where they're going to pick up a win from based on how they played. I don't think Notts were fantastic, and I'm not going to get carried away with that. But yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments. As always, we are powered by Better Bytes Computers. Use the code Pavis Perspective for discounts on refurbished computers and computer repairs. And if you're listening back on Spotify, drop that 5-star review because it helps us out massively. Let's see who we've got with us this evening then. We have got Royston is with us. Not James Royston as in here, but we do have Royston. We've got Ian, David, John, Pythagorum's with us. Adam, who is a channel member, says, even from Newark, glad to get the win, but worry about better opposition. 4-1 and still look shaky at times. All the life of being a Notts fan. We've got Stephen with us. We've got Tony. We've got Shane. We've got Helen, who's a channel member. Enjoyed Wednesday night. Very good game. Plenty of you joining us. We've got Gaza, we've got Julie, we've got John. So thank you for joining us. Get your questions in. Good opportunity to get questions in for James as well, because James isn't regularly on the show. So if you've got anything to ask him, ask him what product.
Some weird opinions, yeah.
Yeah, ask him what product he uses on his hair, whatever you want to ask him. There's no limits to the questions. You can ask him about our favourite topic on the podcast, food. You know, that is our poll today as well. And I'm convinced, before we chat Bromley in the next sort of minute, I'm convinced that nobody is getting tonight's player anagram. And the player anagram, it's a former Notts player. So I'll give you the clue. It's not a current one. It's bounced radar. If anyone gets that, I'll be amazed. Absolutely amazed. So let me know if you can get that. Right, James. We've got Barrow to talk about. We've got transfers to talk about. Just over, I think, 10 days left of the transfer window. I don't believe it. Andre Bukard.
I don't believe it either. I've seen it.
within 3 minutes, Chris has ruined it again. Ruined the game for everyone. Andre Bukard. Yeah, absolutely. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. There's got to be a website out there that's just called like Notts County Anagram Solver. Look at that. That is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, we've got transfers to talk about. I want to talk about the signings. I want to go through those signings with you, James. And I want to talk about Will Jarvis as well, the missing man. But yeah, let's chat Bromley first. Okay. Hi, mate. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, pleasure to be on. Happy to chat Notts versus Brom. Should be a good match on Saturday.
Yeah, it usually is a good game. I was talking to someone yesterday about the last time we travelled to Bromley, and you were 2-0 up within sort of 10 minutes, and it was looking bleak, and then we sort of hit you for those four goals. I do feel like Bromley are a tough opposition to play against. Do you think that, and I said this about Barrow last week, do you think sometimes Bromley have really had Notts' number?
Yeah, and actually it's interesting you start with that 4-2 victory, because that game was a bit of a surprise to me in so many ways. The fact that we got off to such a quick start, the fact I think Jody Jones put in a Jody Jones special that day, the fact Notts were able to come back and win it 4-2, because every other game that we've played against Notts, dating back to the National League and now in League Two, have always been like, generally speaking, Notts have all the ball, try to break Bromley down. Bromley are probably the best shithouse side in League Two. And so then Notts have like 85% possession. Bromley wait for their one chance from a set piece, take the goal, usually Michael Cheek, and then just frustrate Notts for about 85 to 90% of the match. And we've seen Bromley. I've seen Bromley win at Meadow Lane. I've seen Bromley win at Hayes Lane. I've seen us draw quite a lot. But I think it's interesting because this is the first time, when I spoke to Andy Woodman after the win against Cheltenham on Tuesday, this is the first time I've picked up in the body language from Bromley players and Woodman himself that they're like, we're going to Notts County expecting to win, not we're going to try hold on for a draw or try frustrate Notts County. I think this is the first time Bromley are going there saying, actually, we might be better than Notts County, which I know that's not me trying to be bullish. I just think it's where the two sides are at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much you will have seen, if anything, from our sort of fan base. We haven't started the season very well. But what is really, really interesting and is a massive compliment to you, but also is very representative of Shrewsbury at the minute. We beat Shrewsbury 4-1. You know, some pretty good goals in there. But everyone is saying we're not really tested until we play Bromley on Saturday because Shrewsbury were poor. But you just spoke about a quick start in that game last year at your place. But talking of quick starts, it's been a fantastic start to the season for Bromley, hasn't it, this year?
Yeah, and to be honest, I think what Bromley are now is they just genuinely look like a top 10 League Two outfit. We've transitioned from being a top 7 National League outfit, obviously eventually getting the promotion a couple of years back, to now, I mean, Notts fans who know Bromley, we are basically now a League Two version of the National League Bromley side. And I guess that can also take, if you've got a bit more League Two savvy, that can also take you a long way. If you're basically a team that's difficult to break down and you have Michael Cheek up front, that will still take you a long way in League Two.
Yeah, Cheek's a fantastic player. And I'll go on to chat about him in a second. Do you feel like there's still a sense of, and I say this because we obviously speak to a lot of fans of different teams on here and we have loads of discussion. Do you think there's Bromley are sort of still thought of as, from those that don't necessarily know that much about League Two, we'll put them in the same category as Harrogate and we'll put them in the same category as Barrow, as just small teams in the division?
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. I still think there's that who the hell are Bromley type tag to it. Unless you're, again, like Notts, Chesterfield, Barrow and Harrogate, actually, unless you're one of the clubs that remember playing us in the National League, I think you probably still see Bromley as Bromley. Like, what's their history? And what I would say, that's probably a sign of how good a job Andy Woodman's done, is that he's dragged Bromley up to a position where teams have to respect them. And fans almost have to begrudgingly go, bloody hell, they're a hard team to play against, even if there's kind of the stigma of, yeah, but who actually are Bromley, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Callum, who's a channel member, loves Bromley. Top team. Good away day as well, went last year, not just because of the win, but it's a good away day. You mentioned you get to chat to Andy Woodman quite a lot. I've made I've not hidden the fact I absolutely love him as a manager. Not that one that I'd want for Notts. I don't think he'd fit Notts, but I think he's a fantastic manager. He must be like an absolute legend amongst Bromley fans. Yeah,
I mean, how often can you say that you can have a manager who every season that they've been in charge, they've created history for a football club, multiple playoff appearances in the National League, won the FA Trophy final against Wrexham, got promoted for the first time ever in our history, took us to the FA Cup third round for the first time ever. This season already knocked out Ipswich to take us into the set. Like, that's when you properly step away from it, Bromley sensibilities or not, that is an unbelievable record to have, that you just continually overachieve. And like, he's already started this. I mean, we came, was it 11th last season? And he's already gone on record as saying we should have made the playoffs. And he's openly told everyone it's the playoffs this season. Now, whether that's realistic or not, I think it speaks to the culture that he's created around the football club, that no, we're not here to just make up numbers. We're supposed to achieve something every single season. So who would dare bet against him?
I love that win at Wembley against Wrexham. That was the biggest write-off I've seen in a long time. Everyone saying Wrexham are going to walk it. Loved it. You know, we've got that bit of history of Wrexham in the promotion season. So anytime that I can bash them and they lose, love it. We briefly spoke about Michael Cheek as well. And go on, James. Do you want to add something?
I mean, I was going to add, do you think the stability of it helps? Because hasn't he been in charge for four years now?
Yeah, I think I think I saw a record the other day where he's one of the longest serving managers.
Yeah.
Only at 4.5 seasons, which is obviously ridiculous, but that speaks about the culture of sacking managers nowadays.
I mean, nowadays, that's been in charge forever, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. And he's just signed a new 3-year contract. So I think he's got the full support of the chairman. The players and the squad is obviously built in his own mold. All the players are basically like him in terms of how they approach things on the pitch. And actually, I don't know if he'll play on Saturday, but it's interesting that in the 3 games I've seen Kyle Cameron play for us already, you wouldn't believe what Kyle Cameron is doing for us versus what you're probably used to him, the way he was asked to play for Notts County. There's none of this free-flowing passing and moving. It's very much defend your 6-yard box, win first contact, win second contact, and yes, we know.
Probably better at the free-flowing football than the actual defending bit at Notts, but if it's well defending, fair play to it.
It's interesting because Andy made a point about that, because when he signed, I asked Andy. Obviously, Kyle was asked at Notts to do a different style of football, and Andy said, "Listen, I brought Kyle Cameron in here to be a leader, so he's recognised his leadership capabilities straight away. He's very vocal on the pitch." And then he said, and I've told him, you're going to simplify your game. You're not here to do running with the ball and through balls. You're here to defend your box, and first and foremost. So, and it's been evident in the games we've seen so far.
He was a very, very good captain for us in our promotion season. Outstanding captain. There's an iconic little clip where he gets he wins the toss for the penalty shootout at Wembley and points over to Notts fans, and it's like, that at that moment you kind of felt like we'd already won it. Really good at National League level, was the captain for Torquay there, captain for us. Went to, I think it was St Johnstone, didn't work out, but he was captain there. So I can see why you're talking about leadership qualities. I think the way he was asked to play out from the back in National League worked, because he was a very, very established National League defender. League Two was a step up, and also I don't think it helped who we were with, who he was paired with. I said on the channel a couple of months ago, I'd actually like to have known what he would have been like with Matty Platt and Jacob Bedu defending alongside him. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see that. I mean, this is what you this is the feeling that's left from our fan base. Gaza says Jatta will destroy Kyle Calamity, which is a bit sad because, and I know what Gaza's saying, but that's the memory we've got of him. That really poor defensive season. I think we conceded 85 goals when we came back up. I'm going back to Michael Cheek then. And it kind of links to me talking about, do you feel like Bromley is still seen as a small side? Because I see a lot of fans, and Notts fans as well, whenever someone needs a striker, they say, well, go and get Michael Cheek, as if you can just go and take Michael Cheek from Bromley, or the big Prem teams just pick whoever they want from those small teams. First of all, how important is Michael Cheek to the side? And also, secondly, do you think he's just going to finish his career at Bromley? And do you think there's any danger of him ever leaving?
Yeah, so if Cheek was going to leave, he would have left this summer. I think there was sniffing around him. I do think there were bigger clubs definitely putting in an offer for Cheek. But Cheek also, just before the end of the season, last season, he signed a new 3-year contract. So he's in a catch-22. In so much as the club have rewarded him with a brand new contract, which makes him very well paid. And at the same time, having just scored 25 goals in League Two and won every single award he could win in the League Two or PF. I think he just won PFA League Two Player of the Season as well yesterday on Tuesday. So the reality is, for any club to get him, they'd have to spend. Bromley have basically put a ridiculous price on his head, because how would we replace him? 33 or not, how would you replace somebody who scores 25 goals? So the reality is that it sounds harsh to say, but he's not going anywhere, because nobody's going to pay the price that Bromley would demand.
Yeah, that's a great player. And there were big question marks whether he would step up to League Two after so many goals. And I'm glad he did. Because, deserves it, doesn't he? We talk about Cheek, and everyone knows Michael Cheek. Every fan in the league knows Michael Cheek. You play Bromley, you've got to stop Michael Cheek. But apart from him, can you give us someone that we might not know about, maybe a new signing or someone that's just breaking through, that we should watch out for on Saturday?
Yeah, so there's been 2 new signings that I would probably talk about. Both of them have come from the same club, actually. So Mitch Pinnock, he played for Bromley when he was a teenager, 19 years old. Has gone on to have a very good career, Wimbledon, Northampton, etc. So he he turned down a contract renewal at Northampton, who obviously are in League One. He was their Player of the Season, to come to Bromley. because he's basically from Kent. And he is, when you get a player from a league above and they're not phoning it in, and they obviously are too good for the level they're playing at, that's basically Mitchell Pinnock. His delivery is pinpoint, and we've basically got a guy who can do pinpoint delivery for Michael Cheek in the box. That's as dangerous as it gets, right? So his delivery from the left wing has to be watched. And then Will Hondermark, who's come in centre midfield, he was released by Northampton. Probably maybe League One was a step too much for him, but League Two he certainly looks an all-action box-to-box midfielder, and he's been a very useful addition as well. And then everybody else, you kind of know, the core of the side: Byron Webster, Grant Smith, Corey Whiteley, Michael Cheek. Like, you've seen these guys from the National League through to League Two, and they're still critical to the core of the team.
We had Honda. Yeah, someone's just put it. Neil just put it. We had Hondermark as a trialist a couple of years back, so it'd be interesting to see how he plays. Is Carl Jenkinson out for a while? Yeah,
I think the injury was, well, they certainly thought he dislocated his hip. I think it wasn't as serious as that in the end, but it's basically enough to put him out for certainly half a season. So Bromley was supposed to announce a signing today, actually, but it looks like they may delay it until tomorrow. So he hasn't actually been replaced, but they've got enough cover for him now. But if there was to be another injury, then they've got a problem. So he's out injured at the moment.
Okay, fair enough. For those that don't know, Carl Jenkinson, obviously ex-Arsenal player as well. A final question. It's a difficult question, but what is your score prediction? I don't know my score prediction. You could get the Notts that played last night and score a few, or you could get the Notts that went to Barrow and were...
We don't know what Notts are going to turn up.
Yeah, we have no clue. What's your score prediction?
If every other time we've gone to Notts County, I've said, well, draw, as in that I see that as like the upper end of what can be achieved. I think this is the first time that we're going to Notts where I actually expect us to win. That doesn't mean I'm predicting it. No way. But it's the first time I wouldn't be shocked if we, like, it wouldn't be like, oh my God, we won at Notts. It'd be like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. It all depends on what, I'm with you. Like, we played Shrewsbury on the first day of the season, and although we drew 0-0, you could tell that they were rubbish. So it's hard to know where you lot are actually at this. It's hard to know where you lot are at this point in time. So on the basis of fairness and friendship, I'll say 1-1. So
that's where I'm leaning to at the minute. But I have like another 25-30 minutes till I give my prediction, so I'm going to see if anyone in the chat or James can sway my mind. Are you heading to the game as well on Saturday?
Do you know what? It's my daughter's birthday, so I actually have to give it a miss, which is a disappointment. It's one of the best away days in the league, but I'll be listening in for sure.
Yeah, fair enough. A lot of people do say that it's a great away day to us. It's just Nottingham, isn't it? But it's our home. But yeah, I really appreciate you joining us, mate. Thank you so much, and good luck for the rest of the season, apart from the 2 fixtures against Notts, obviously.
Of course. No worries. Take it easy, guys.
Mate, thank you very much.
Yeah, cheers. Later.
James, we're 4 out of 4 for away fans so far. It's on this season. I know it's the 5th game, but we didn't have a Shrewsbury fan on. Last year, I've already mentioned Accrington let us down last year. And then, I don't know why. Right. We have to talk about it because it is very much linked to the Shrewsbury game. Because I'm seeing already people here saying that, it's papered over cracks. We weren't actually that good against Shrewsbury. But, mate, how bad were we against Barrow?
I've tried to block it out of my mind. You know how when you get trauma, the brain sort of blocks it out. We were, if it was 1-1, it would have been very unfair on Barrow in terms of just we were not good at all. We didn't generate any chances. The ones we did were poor chances. We were shaky at the back at best. There were some questionable decisions. Someone went down injured in the last minute of the first half.
Jaden Luca.
Yes. Made the sub with like 30 seconds to go. Platt gets injured. All the subs are used up. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, but I think it's just the small decisions. Just everything seems to be going against us at the moment.
Yeah, and I'm not here to bash Patterson at all, but
no.
I just
That's what I'm here for.
I don't think Paul Cook makes that sub. I don't think,
No.
you know.
Is it the inexperience or is it just the... But if something went wrong in those 30 seconds, we'd be slating him. So...
Yeah. You would. You're right. You would. And he's got to play the percentage game. But I think you risk it, don't you? You do risk it. And then obviously situations happened that's happened with Platt, who was out till November, I think. But we know with Notts players that could mean.
Can I just jump in and answer Ian Birchnell's question of what made James a Notts fan? My dad is the answer to that. Didn't have an option. Yeah, didn't have an option.
Well, at least it's not that team that play in red in Rushcliffe or wherever it is. On the outskirts, not the real team. I was disappointed with Saturday, really disappointed. And I know no fans are entitled to this. And, you know, I'm kind of the opinion, if someone says, or I see someone of another team, or, you know, I've travelled 5 hours there and 5 hours back, I do massively, like, I understand that because we did the same. But at the same time, I'm of the opinion that was your decision. And you do know that in football, you could go to a game and you could get a player sent off in the first 30 seconds and the whole away trip's ruined. Like, you take your chance.
Yeah.
But there was
absolutely.
The effort wasn't there. You know,
No.
They couldn't string 3 passes together. And it was very evident within like 10 minutes it was going to be a tough day. Really tough day. Did anyone come out of that game with credit for you, apart from obviously, you know, Nick Cerula, who I actually had a bit of a bet on the Ballon d'Or.
The two people are Cerula and Dennis. I'd give Dennis a bit of credit. I mean, he got the goal, yes, but he actually put some effort in. Even when he scored, he didn't look pleased. It would look more frustration than anything when he got that goal. I mean, Jones forced him to the fans to celebrate because I don't think he wanted to celebrate. Because what was there to celebrate?
I don't know if people are reading too much into that, but like, I feel like a lot of players would have gone mad then. Like, you're up against it with 10 men, you've not played well, and it's your first goal for the club. I hope there's nothing more to read into that. But yeah, maybe he just thought, look, we've not played well, I'm not going to embarrass myself celebrating. The whole day was poor. Paul, who I assume is a Bromley fan, said we should have beaten Shrewsbury first game, 17 minute delay while fourth official was located while we're on top, spoilt it. Momentum's a massive thing in football. So, we saw it last night. Shrewsbury had nothing. As soon as they scored, they went up the other end and had a couple more attacks. So, yeah, I mean, if you'd have beaten Shrewsbury, would you be top 3 now? And actually, I don't disagree that you're probably beating Shrewsbury, because I think me and James could go and pluck, 9 other people off the street, and we could probably give Shrewsbury a good game.
They'd be third if they beat Shrewsbury.
Yeah, there you go. Statman James, they'd be third. So that would be an outstanding start. But yeah, that momentum kills it, doesn't it? Especially a 17-minute delay. They then go score 97. I have no issue with them scoring 97th minute. I mean, it was 20 seconds over.
Yeah, I mean, we wasted more than that amount of time just trying to kill the game off. So, you can say, it was over the allotted time, but it's only sort of guidance. It's not that's the limit.
Yeah. Question here: can I play goalkeeper? James has seen me play 5-a-side in goal.
Very good. Surprisingly good.
Surprisingly, I can.
You are good at Tom. Tom always comes out and gets the ball from crosses.
Yes, always do. Never ever will I punch it away and cause mayhem, panic. I also ran outside the box a few times in 5-a-side, and I forgot you can't do that. But we won't talk about that. I didn't like the interview after. I'll be honest. And again, I'm not just here to bash him. Bizarre comment. Dennis has just scored his first goal for the club. I'm of the opinion you can't absolutely bash everyone. Your striker has scored a goal. To then say he's not a 90-minute striker, I find really odd. I don't know what that means, because he didn't bring. I know he got cramp, but players can do that at the start of the season. Like he played like 90. He played what, like 90, 95 minutes before he got cramp, and was playing in a team with 10 men. And then the following game, you bring him off in the 87th minute. Like, I don't understand that comment. And then he didn't give them a day off, which I have no problem with. The only thing I do have with that is, I don't know if you listened to it, the pre-match, James, but he didn't give them a day off after Barrow. They went straight through and trained until the game against Bromley. is that's very, very early, in my opinion, to do that in a managerial reign or a head coach reign.
Yes.
If that doesn't work, how many more times have you got to do that? Like a shock factor.
Yeah, it's a power move to very early on. Like, where does he go from here? Because yes, it was disappointing. We were poor, but I don't know. How do you go further? Do you start fining them for bad performances?
Yeah, if we then lost against Shrewsbury, which thankfully we didn't,
Yeah, what would he do? Like community service or something? Like, how does it get worse than
they're the two things I didn't really like. And it did create a very, very, very bad atmosphere. The away end wasn't great. I saw quite a lot of,
there was a bit of
nice word, arguing amongst those fans, quite a lot on the way, but even before kickoff and at the end of the game, quite a lot. Fans obviously tensions
were very high, very, very high.
So that put massive pressure, and Patterson said after the win against Shrewsbury that there was massive pressure. I'm going to take a very quick break because we're going to go on and talk about the Shrewsbury game next. I just want to make people aware of the poll question because 70% of the poll questions are football related, 30% are not football related. So here's a question for today's show. It's an important one. You've been told you can go and get a takeaway, and you can't say I don't like takeaways. You've been told you can go and get a takeaway. Here's the poll question. You get to choose between 4 options. James, we reveal this at the end, so don't give me yours yet. Are you choosing fish and chips, an Indian, pizza, or a Chinese? There's been 112 votes so far. One of them is quite a way in the lead at the minute. Fish and chips, 39% are leading. So if that's shocked you to the core, get voting. Put something else. 114 votes now. It's changing a little bit. We've got a new second place. We've got a last place as well. But get your voting because it's important. We'll reveal it at the end. I kid you not, James. I don't know if you saw the episode, but we once had a 20-minute chat about chip shops. Did you know you can get beans at a chip shop?
Can you get beans?
You can get baked beans at a chip shop. And everyone had your reaction.
Yeah. I thought it was just curry sauce, mushy peas,
gravy and beans.
Fish and chips. Gravy occasionally. But
trust me, you can get baked beans. So you've got some people going into a chip shop and having like chips and beans. Look at this. There you go. That was the best episode. It was the best episode ever of the Pavis Perspective. I honestly think it was 20 minutes. People were Googling their local chip shop to see if it sold beans and were putting it in. Look, forget the football, get on the fish. There we go. Here we go. Paul, we get baked beans in chip shops down here. If they're doing it down south...
Where's their Paul?
Bromley.
Uh-huh.
Bromley. So they're doing beans.
Episode
has had the most viewings ever. We actually got contacted by a few chip shops to sponsor us, but they didn't sell beans.
Thank you, Paul.
So we said no to that. Shrewsbury then. What odds would you have given on not scoring 4 before the game?
Very low odds.
I said 25-1 on the vlog, and I actually drove away from the ground thinking that's probably 50-1.
Yeah, there would be long odds because we have not looked like scoring many, and we don't know where the goals were coming from because no one was in their natural position, really. I'm sure we'll get onto it about Jones and where the creativity is coming from. But yeah, 1 or 2. Dennis does look like he can get 1 or 2. But otherwise, I mean, it did have to come from interesting areas. So centre-back, Dennis, left back or left wing back, and then a sub.
Yeah, you're right. Is it the start of something, or do you genuinely think it papered over the cracks? Do you think they were that bad? Honest gut feeling.
I think it was papering over cracks. Gut feeling. I didn't come away last night thinking, right, that's it. We're going to crack on.
Even after the 4th goal.
I came away from that game thinking they were shocking. Like
the 4th goal was poetry in motion.
It was good. There's no doubt it was a good goal. But I wasn't convinced by the whole thing. I know that's strange to say after a 4-1 victory. But you got to think there were still some shaky moments at the back. They scored their first goal of the season against us, if that's correct, I think.
Yeah, of course they were going to do that.
Like, we had the same against Barrow. They hadn't scored. Shrewsbury hadn't scored. I know it's early on in the season. It's not like we're 20 games in the season and the local pub team has scored against us. But it's just not looking convincing. Defensively, I think we're low on personnel, low on options there. And I don't see how we can get much stronger as a defence unless we start to buy people. So yeah, papering over cracks.
I'm optimistic on this channel. I'm always optimistic. This shows me we're like really bad. I saw a stat today that their manager is it Michael Appleton? Have I got that right? Has a 4% win rate. That's insane. A 4% win rate. I don't know how he's still got the job.
Is he Fullerton in disguise? I hear them shout.
Well, some people will be saying, is he Patterson in disguise? But that's too early to say that. Too early to say that. I mean, they both won the same number of games as manager of their club. But
it is Michael Appleton. Sorry,
yeah, Michael Appleton, Statman James again. I don't know how he's still got a job. Like, how on earth are you doing that?
He can't be lasting long there.
And even the goal they scored, I mean, we gave their player that put the ball into the box, like, he could have set up an armchair and sat down before he crossed it. So, like,
yeah,
it wasn't a really well goal. It was even that was poor by knots.
I'm a bit worried that's becoming a bit of a habit of ours, just not marking people in the box.
Yeah. I mean, from Barrow, that Tyler Walker was open, wasn't it? Which was an absolute disgrace of a goal to concede.
Yeah, didn't Salford have a goal almost exactly the same?
I think so. We're conceding a lot of crosses, is all I know. Yeah, but I do think this is what's quite strange. Is we're 4 games into the season, we've won 1, drawn 1, and lost 2. And we've gone and won 4-1 at home, but Patterson is really up against it, like massively up against it. I feel like if we win against Bromley, he's still up against it massively. A lot of people seem to haven't changed their mind at all despite the win. I saw a lot of people saying how incredibly poor we were last night. I don't think we were incredibly poor. I think that's probably still got some of the Barrow game in mind and some of the last term game against Salford in mind. We weren't fantastic. But did we need to be fantastic? No, we didn't. The 4th goal was excellent. Dennis scores again. Nick Cerula was outstanding. I'm going to get on this topic in a second with you. Actually, let's go on to it now. I don't mind Jody in the 10. I really don't mind it in the 10. Because
say that again. You don't mind him or don't like him?
I don't mind him in the 10. I think he's
right,
okay.
I thought I heard that. Really?
He was better yesterday. So
yeah.
I wouldn't have Jody Jones as wing back. We're already conceding massive amounts of goals. We've conceded every game, 2 of them against teams that hadn't even scored, 3 at home to Salford. I think give it like a month and he'll be doing the same thing he was at wing back in the 10. Yesterday we gave him a lot more license to roam. He was going everywhere. Whereas I just remember him dribbling sort of right to left against Barrow, and that was it. He was appearing in the corner.
This is the same person who got, was it 25 assists or something in a season at wing back?
Yeah.
And you're saying that you want him at number 10?
Most of those under Luke Williams.
All right.
In a team that didn't need to defend ever.
True.
And think of the intensity that Patterson is demanding.
I just don't think Jones was bad at the defensive part. I mean, I was listening to the radio on the way into the game yesterday, and they were saying that he's not quite like brilliant at the defending part. But I didn't think he was bad at all. He got back quick enough, and he was quite robust in the tackle.
I don't think he was that bad. I don't think he was that good either. What he needs to do is, do you remember Newport away?
Yeah.
When he was not the first game of the season, the one where we beat them on the Tuesday night.
Yeah. Was it 3-1, if I remember?
But yeah, under Maynard, and he wasn't asked to defend at all, and he ripped them to shreds. We had a Newport fan on at the start of the season and remember that. He remembers Jody's performance that game. He was putting it through people's legs. He was dribbling to past 3 players at once. He got, I think, 2 assists. I think given the opportunity, I'll come back to this episode in a few weeks if I'm wrong. I think give him 3, give him another month, and I think you'll get the best out of him in that position.
Okay. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I really hope he does settle in at the number 10 role because, when you've got creative freedom, it's fantastic. But he really wants to play wide. He just drifts out there all the time.
Yeah, I see that as well. I do see
and
that.
I think you may as well get the best out of him because we're so lucky to have him at this level. His creative and his technical ability is far above League 2.
Yeah.
He's injury prone. We know that. So I don't really want him getting kicked all the time because we saw, was it last season, he just got one swift kick in the back of a leg and then was in for out for a few months.
Gillingham at home.
Yeah. So, bringing him in protects him a little more. But I don't know. I'm not convinced by him at number 10. That's all I'm saying. I sincerely hope I'm wrong.
Yeah. I just think we've got two wing backs now in each position. I don't think that's going to change. We've got Cotter and Gordon on the right. We've got Cerullo and Bennett on the left. I don't think it's going to change. I'd love to be able to ask Jody where he prefers. I'm not sure. But that then brings me on to the talk about Jarvis. I'm very concerned that if we don't use him soon and he's alienated from the squad, we lose him. I think we did pay a fee for him, an undisclosed fee from Hull. Yeah. But he's going to go somewhere and be really, really good. And when we signed him back in January, we had a Shelburne fan on, and he said he loved him, absolutely loved him. I think they made it to Europe or the qualifications with him. But the one thing he said is he doesn't work that hard.
Yeah.
And we signed a manager that clearly, whether we're seeing it or not, wants a team to play with insane intensity. I don't think we're seeing it yet, but he wants people to work hard. And I think that's the reason he's not played. Because I'm sure he started in the 10 at Alfreton away in the first game, pre-season game. I don't want to lose him. What are your thoughts on this whole situation? Because he's clearly... Remember MK Dons at home last year when he scored that screamer and then just...
Yeah, he's got a performance in him. He really does. But we're obviously looking from the outside in. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But his mentality might be questionable. It's the way it appears. He doesn't look like he's the best team member in terms of putting the effort in, putting the hard work in. It just doesn't look like he's got that edge that Patterson wants. And it doesn't make any sense to me from the fact that he's not injured. I think did his partner put something online saying that he's not injured at all, don't know what they're on about. Patterson in an interview. Was it Wigan away? Yeah, Wigan away, the interview, he said, when he was asked about Jarvis, he said, I don't go into injury details, and then proceeded to go into someone else's injury details. So it's like...
Traore, but that picture that his partner put up, I mean, we assume it's his partner, that's what we're being told on Instagram. We don't know 100%, but that's what it would look like. I just think we're on the verge of... If you think about Notts owners, right, the word that comes to my mind, as soon as you describe the Notts owners or their philosophy, it's sustainability, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. And we're on the verge of having no involvement from Traore, who they spent a lot of money on for League 2, and Jarvis, who they spent money on, and neither of them are playing. You're not going to get any return on those players because Traore hasn't actually convinced anyone he can play football in England. The physicality looks a lot.
I thought you were just going to leave it at anyone that he can play football.
Well, we don't know. We haven't seen enough. And Jarvis, who I don't know. I honestly don't know. You've got a contract till 2028.
That's a big old contract for Notts.
I feel like in a technical board, whose decision is it to keep leaving him out of the squad completely? Because I look at our bench against Shrewsbury, right? If he's not injured, you've got Bennett, who has to be on there. You've got Gordon, who has to be on there. Grant. You've got Lewis McCorry, who we don't know if he's ever going to play. They're not going to risk integrating him into squad because we don't know what the outcome of this thing is. And then Kuyar, who I feel like I know he came on. He's just filling a space at the minute. I don't think we're going to get much from him.
He seems to be just a number, unfortunately.
Kuyar and Macari. I know we don't have a centre back, until Ness comes back and Platt's injured, so that's why Macari's on the bench. But there's a place there for, especially with an injury to Luca, for Will Jarvis. I don't know. I want to go through the signings very quickly in a second, but the question I'm going to ask you now is, what kind of impact we're going to get now Jatta's back against Bromley? Because to the best of my knowledge, and someone will clear this up in the chat, Wigan counted as one of the games, so I believe he's back. What we're going to see from him?
A goal, if he plays. If he plays, because that man cares. I mean, it's probably why he got sent off and lost his head. But I think we're crying out for the big man up there. I mean, Meeks has said he's back Saturday, so yeah everyone's saying he's back Saturday. Well, a goal then. You heard it here first. He's going to score on Saturday. He's going to take his top off. He's going to get booked, and then he's going to be sent off.
There's no way you're going to advocate for this for him to be starting over Dennis, though, are you?
I don't think he deserves to start over Dennis because Dennis has put a good shift in. But as we know, he's not a 90-minute striker, so we can't risk him for a whole game.
If he did start over Dennis, after Dennis has scored 2 and 2 and played well, I actually think Dennis is a really good signing for Norwich.
He's been the best signing in my opinion. He's the only one that I've thought that's a good signing.
Yeah.
What did he get? 6 goals last year in League One?
Yeah, but it was 6 in 14. League Two. Yeah. It was for Carlisle.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, League Two. I
6 in 14 and the side that got relegated.
Yeah, that's a good find. That is. Go
on. What about both? Both works if you're only going to play one person behind the striker, because that's who you're going to have to sacrifice a position for. So if you're going to play Jody just behind the striker, take Norburn out and put Eorpenda back next to Palmer. That's the only way I can see both. I don't think he's going to start both. But
I'd agree. Yeah, I don't think they'll change the formation on the tactics at the moment. I think we're still early on settling down. It'll just be like for like at the moment.
We've also changed enough in every game anyway. Let's have a bit of consistency, I think. I'm going to go through the signings then this season. And we're not going to rate them. We're going to say hit or miss.
Okay.
But then, they're the only 2 options, unless you think it's been a massive hit or a massive miss.
Before we start, can we talk about loan signings? Is that part of the signings? Because I don't believe in loan signings in terms of, because we're meant to be a sustainable football club to bring people in and sell them for a profit, and then we're just loaning loads of people in.
Don't believe in loan signings, but you saw George Abbott last year.
I don't believe we could rate loan signings.
Okay. Well, we're going to rate loan signings. We are going to rate them. Kel Roos.
Miss, to be polite.
Yes. Someone's just told me Archie Mayor's gone to Morecambe. I'd rather have Archie Mayor.
Yeah.
You can say completely undecided, but we'll try and stay away from that. Keenan Bennett. As of now.
I'd like to say completely undecided, but I'm more swaying towards hit.
Yeah, I agree. Ollie Norburn. Right now, 4 games in, I'm going.
I feel. I was going to say you're going to get a long period of silence now because I'm not sure. I don't think we've seen enough. I'm going to say miss at the moment.
Yeah,
but
Matthew
I
Dennis.
like the fact we've got someone with experience in. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, Matthew Dennis hit.
Yeah.
Harry Griffiths has to be undecided. I mean, it's a hit, isn't it? We've got a reserve goalkeeper in.
Yeah, I mean, he's a hit. The nicest way possible. It's probably low wages because sustainability. Apparently, he was all right pre-season. He put a good show on.
Maz Kuyar.
Miss.
I'm gonna say hit. I like what I've seen of him so far for the role he's going to play in the team. If we'd signed him as a starter.
Yeah. Would you rather not sign someone that can make more of an impact when they come on? He's not. Okay.
Hit. Barry Cotter.
Miss.
4 games in, bear in mind. So this isn't us writing players off. This is after 4 games.
Yeah.
Barry Cotter. Oh, this is a tough one.
Yeah, but you went to Barrow. You saw how bad he was.
Miss. Just.
Yeah, there we go.
But we're 4 games in. That doesn't mean that we're writing these players off. Adam says Cotter is a massive hit. Fair enough. We're going to respect everyone's opinion.
To be fair, I like his long throw. That's something different. And he has got a bit of unpredictability. But defensively, last night, he let so many people past him. So many people past him. And he didn't bother when they got past him, he just sort of stood still.
Yeah. Al Joffrey. Just about it.
Because he scored last night, he's just getting into the hit stage. There's a player in there. I just don't think his physicality is quite there yet against some of the bigger lads.
Jaden Luca is a hit for me.
Yeah, he's a hit.
He's got injured.
Yeah.
Tommy Openda, massive hit.
Yeah, big hit. I saw someone comment saying that Openda was the best signing we've made. And again, loan signing. So it goes against stats and sustainability for selling for profit. But
okay, fair enough.
He is good. He looks a good player. He's big, strong lad. Likes to go forwards. He turns and goes forwards a lot, which is good to see. So yeah, he's a big hit as well. But he's not.
This one is actually one I'm going to have to be undecided about. Is Tyrese Hall? I don't know yet.
I think he's a hit.
I mean, he got a. He laid the ball
Did
off.
He get the assist?
No, he laid it off for Gordon.
The pre-assist, as they like to call it now.
Yes, or yeah. Was it a second assist or something like that? Is it pre-assist or something? I'll tell you what, I'm seeing a bit of an improvement in Gordon. I'll be honest with you. Last season, I really thought it was really far off it. I've definitely seen improvements. Not against Barrow, but who was good against Barrow? So yeah, Paul says, by the sound of it, I hope Cotter plays Saturday. Gaz said, here's a better way of judging the players. What name and number had justified you to have it on your shirt this season? I don't know. I'll be honest, I'm not sure. If I had a player on my back, I'd have Nick Cerula. And I wouldn't have number 25, I'd have number 1 because he's going to win the Ballon d'Or. So, James, Ian said, from a sustainability point of view, loan players are partially funded from their parent team so they can get better player for lower wages. Absolutely, mic drop, done you? Yeah, I think we're going to have to do this, aren't we? We're going to have to
it gets people discussing and talking things. We're allowed different opinions.
Callum says Nick has the whole squad on his back. His celebration against Barrow was like the only good thing from that day, the highlight. So yeah, great player. Loved his interview pre-Shrewsbury as well. Right. So the poll question. I'll give you the results. We're on 115 votes. We are now on 131. What takeaway would you choose out of these 4? The options are fish and chips, Indian, pizza, and Chinese. Fish and chips wins with 40% of the vote. Strong. 29% second place with Indian, 20% third place with Chinese, and 11% for pizza. James, what would your choice be?
I mean, you know what my choice is, but
I think your choice is Indian.
It is Indian. It's. I mean, I've got a fantastic Indian near me, and it's amazing. I won't go anywhere else. If I've got an option of a takeaway, it's the only one I'm taking. Pizza, I think you can get a good enough pizza just to put in the oven. It'll do. Fish and chips, again, you can put it in the oven. I'm just saying it right up now. Fish and chips is fish and chips.
Look at that, Indian all day long. Hartley Hare says Indian, no argument.
I'm glad me and Ian have finally agreed on something. Thank you, Ian.
Pizza unless chip shop has beans. Please give a shout out to Noah. He loved the photo opportunity with you last night. Yeah, great to meet you, Noah. Hope you enjoyed the game. Hope you enjoyed the 4-1 win. So, yeah, really nice to meet you yesterday. Fish and chips, if you live by the sea. Someone said chips and beans from the chippy.
I'd agree with that. That's the problem. We live too far from the sea to get really good fish and chips.
What do you think I've gone for?
I think you've gone for fish and chips.
No, try again.
Oh. Well, I've got a 1 in 3 chance now. Well, you're an Indian then.
No, try again.
Oh my god! Well, right. Well, not 50. It's obviously I know you well, obviously. Well, pizza.
Yes.
Oh, thank God. I was going to say I've never seen you eat Chinese, so it can't be that.
Someone says Chinese all day long. Someone said don't like spicy stuff, so Indians out. Someone says fish and chips by the coast is elite. So it's pizza. It's pizza for me. Pizza number 1. I go Indian number 2. Fish and chips 3. Chinese 4th. They're how I'd rate them. If George was here, I know for a fact pizza would be his 4th. I think he's going Chinese as his number 1. I think no. George is Indian. I think his will be Indian. But there you go. Riveting stuff as always. I mean, I could have gone on about this for ages. I could have gone on about my exact order, but
deep fried Mars bar and chips. Put them in curry sauce. What's the on about deep fried Mars bar?
What topping on the pizza? This is going to be controversial. I do like pineapple on a pizza.
I'm going to say I only have pineapple.
But just pineapple, but extra pineapple.
Extra pineapple, pineapple, and then that's just a spike Gagliardi.
And then I just like a vegetable pizza. Too much, people have like far too much on a pizza.
Too greasy. It gets too greasy. All the meat's too greasy. Just vegetables. It's nice.
I agree.
And it makes you feel better.
George, if you're listening, please comment. Comment what you have. I think Chinese. Someone said Notts County Talk sponsored by Papa John's. Tell you what, lifetime channel membership to anyone that writes to Papa John's and gets us sponsored. Other pizza shops are available. Have to say that. I don't have to say that. I do like Papa John's. So yeah. Right. Now, are you trying to rage bait with pineapple? No, I do like pineapple on a pizza. And there, Big Meat says Tom is cultured.
Okay, I'm going to put this out there. I do have a topping that I really like on pizza, and this is going to cause some riot in the comments. Egg.
That's absolutely filth.
Egg
on a pizza.
Egg and white truffle pizza.
Egg and white truffle. We're a League 2 footballing podcast. We're not having egg and white truffle on a pizza.
It's amazing.
Goodness me. Look, everyone's baffled. I wonder how many EFL podcasts you get that 53 minutes into a podcast and a season that's not going that well, we are debating egg and white truffle on a pizza.
That's why I'm not invited on very often.
James is a gym man getting the protein in. Bring back George. Is that fried egg or scrambled? Fried egg or scrambled? I think it's
you just crack it on before you put it in the oven.
So
it comes out looking like a fried egg.
Someone said I think it is called a Fiorentina pizza. I think it is. Anyway, we're gonna get off that.
I'm just unusual.
I'm getting quite angry. Anyway, last week you would have seen the start of our sort of new way of showing you our team, and myself and George each week are going to debate it before the show and pick who our starting 11 would be. Since George isn't here, I've gone for the team this week, and James, I'm going to tell you you can tell me what you would change with this team. So here's the lineup. I've gone for Kel Roos in goal. I've gone for a Joffrey, McDonald, and Bedu at the back. Would you change those? I
don't think we have an option. That's our back four technically.
I've gone Gordon over Cotter.
Yes, because I don't think Gordon's been that bad this season. Cotter's a bit unreliable defensively, and Gordon will be fresher for the weekend because Wednesday, Saturday is a bit close.
Nick Cerula picks himself, doesn't he? Has to be in there.
Yeah, he's got to be in there. The only thing I worry about is just come back from injury, and can he do Wednesday, Saturday?
Very good point. We might see Bennett, who didn't really get many minutes. Good point. Adam says agree, only Cotter over Gordon. What do you mean? I've taken Norburn out and pushed Eel Pender further back.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. I wouldn't strongly say that that's wrong. I think I'd like to see Norburn play again. I did like him there. He just added a bit of old school, bit aggressive.
Yeah,
quite calm on the ball. I mean, the problem is with Palmer and Norburn centre mid. I don't think they run enough, either of them.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think we're missing the legs in the centre. Like on yesterday, you saw it. There was just no legs in the centre.
No. I'm gonna go with that. Jones and then Grant for getting his goal. I think you reward him for that. I think he actually looked quite good when he came on. Lots of nice touches. And then Dennis. Ian said, need to make the text bigger for the old folk. I'm working on it. Don't you worry. That's already crossed my mind. I'm trying to see if that's something that can be done. This is what we were kind of talking about earlier with the Jatta situation. So you would then have Jatta. You'd have Jones in there, and you would have Jatta and Dennis playing as your striking pairs, and then Grant will drop to the bench. Only problem is then you lose a bit of creativity with losing another player.
Yeah, I think Jones would really struggle in that area on his own.
If he's drifting out wide out here, look at this. If he's drifting out there. Or if he's drifting out there, like we saw a lot of link up with Nick Cerula, then you've got a huge gap here, a massive gap here, unfortunately. But yeah, that's the lineup I go with.
That exact lineup, you'd start with the two up top.
Sorry, no, the first lineup. No, I'm not going with that. The first lineup is the one I'd go with. But yeah, that lineup we may see at some point, but I'm not confident. I
think that's the sort of if we need a goal, desperation lineup.
Yeah, and then you've got to ask Jones to be more disciplined. And when we saw him a bit more disciplined against Barrow, it didn't work, did it?
Yeah.
So there we go. Let's have a quick look. Adam says, Mrs. says Norburn over Grant. People saying Gordon stormed off the pitch Tuesday. Sponsorship money being well invested on the pod, mind-blowing technology. That's my job for next week, is to try and get that text larger. I have had a go before the show, but yeah, bear with us. We're bedding it in. The only thing left, James, before we take over to an hour on the show, is a score prediction.
2-2.
How does that go down, though? As in, are we 2 up? Are we 2 down? Are we 1 up, 1 down?
I think we'll go 2. I think it'll go 1-0 to them, 1-1, 2-1 to them, 2-2.
Okay, it's tough. I really want us to get the win. Obviously, it's an obvious thing to say on a Notts County podcast, but I mean, you heard our guest earlier literally say that they think they can come here and win.
Yeah, that's the problem. I don't want to predict a loss, but I'm really not. I wouldn't be surprised if we lose. I think they're looking all right. We're looking a bit unpredictable, is a good way of putting it.
Aside from Cheltenham coming to Meadow Lane last night, in terms of seeing where we're at, there wasn't a worse team than Shrewsbury to show us where we're at. We literally don't know. I honestly think we could have started that game with, players that have barely any minutes, like Hinchy, Edwards, Jarvis, and you could take 2 or 3 starters out of that team, and I think we still probably just get a win. They were so far off it. I'm going to go 1-1. After the start we've had, 4 points from from these 2 home games combined, I don't think would be a nightmare. I think someone just said here about Kyle Cameron. I think you play on him. You know what you're going to get. You play on him.
I think the fans have got to get to him. I've got to wind him up.
Yeah, there's no love lost, is there? Because we want to win the game. You can clap him after the game, but we'll see. Maybe put Jatta on 70th minute and just stick him on. I mean,
as I said earlier, I think Jatta's going to score, take his top off, get booked, and then get sent off. Imagine
not a straight red, but imagine another red after the red he got. I'm I'm going to go 1-1, and I'm going to say Dennis scores again, 3-3. Really starts to, with Jatta coming back now, he still stakes his claim for that starting place.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, and I think we are behind in the game, so the 1-1 doesn't feel as bad. Let's see what you've gone. 3-1, let's be positive. 2-1 Knots, Dennis, they equalise, and JJ gets the winner. 2-1 Knots, Jody and Dennis. As always, got Desmond 2-2. We've got a 2-1 Jatta scores later on. We've got a 3-1 to us. Benny Boy says 3-1 Bromley. I mean, if we lose and lose comfortably, feels like we're back to square one, doesn't it? We've got 2-1 Knots, Dennis and Jones. We've got 2-1 Bromley win. We've got 3-1 Jatta scores 2 and a JJ penalty. 1-1 Jatta off the mark. 2-2, 1-1, 1-1, 4-0. And then we'll leave it with Callum's always sensible. I think wins 6-0 on an own goal from Cameron. There you go.
There we go.
That wraps up the show tonight. Thank you to everyone that joined us. It's been a really good show. Got lots of questions in. Thank you, James, for joining me at short notice.
Yeah.
If you would
apologise to everyone who didn't like my opinions.
If you would like to see James back, give the video a like and subscribe. If you would don't want to see me back,
also give it a like
and subscribe. There we go. But yeah, thank you. Massively appreciate it. As always, this season, we are going to have our 2 videos at full time. We're going to have our match reaction, which is an instant reaction. So for those that just want to know a very quick snapshot, as one of us, myself or George, leave Meadow Lane. And then we've got our vlog that comes out slightly later after that, which is the minute-by-minute action, isn't it? And the exact things that happen. So 2 options for you to watch there. As I've already said, please do subscribe. Leave that 5-star review on Spotify. Let's see if this video we can get to, let's go for 100 likes on this video. Would massively appreciate it. And we'll see you back here next Thursday for our preview of, I believe it will be Tranmere.